More than 3 million people have been told to evacuate. This storm will most likely be the most devastating hurricane to hit Jacksonville, Florida in 118 years. World News Tonight anchor David Muir is there leading our coverage on the Florida coastline. Good morning to you, David.
Amy, good morning to you. And as you heard Ginger say, just as we're on the air with Good Morning America this morning, the western edge of that eye wall is now brushing land near Cape Canaveral. Of course, the concern there was the Kennedy Space Center. And as it moves northward, this is the area right here in Jacksonville where they say the biggest threat is the storm surge. They're concerned about it really up and down the coast and all the way up through the Carolinas. But it's right here where I'm standing where they're expecting up to 11 feet. We're going to show you the dangers on the map of that in a moment. But first here this morning, the pictures coming into this hurricane already. Hurricane Matthew slamming into Central Florida's coastline.
Unfortunately, this is going to kill people.
With wind gusts up to 115 miles per hour.
It's kind of almost a whiteout condition out there.
The hurricane eye just a few miles now off Cape Canaveral. At least 10 inches of rain expected.
You can see the water out here. It's blanketed by this rain now.
As over 300,000 are without power at this hour. These transformers exploding in Vero Beach. Supplies dwindling, hotels overbooked. The National Guard now standing by as nervous parents bring their children to shelters like this one in Jupiter.
I'm concerned about what's going to happen when the house falls and where we're going to go.
Matthew's path changing plans in this popular vacation state, even forcing Disney World to close its gates for only the 4th time ever in the park's 45-year history. Cruise ships docked and thousands of travelers stranded, with airports emptied and more than 3,800 flights already canceled here in the U.S. More than 3 million Americans now fleeing their homes from Florida up to North Carolina. FEMA officials preparing to provide relief, with states of emergency now declared in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. The hurricane already devastating the Caribbean, running its path through the Bahamas, its force ripping the roof right from this home. And in Haiti, a nation in crisis, at least 122 dead. The Coast Guard now providing a clearer picture of home after home leveled. And again, right here from Jacksonville, Florida this morning, this is where meteorologists say be very concerned about the storm surge. You can see the ferocity of the waves actually whipping up behind me already. But take a look at the map this morning, and you can actually see the storm surge threat is up and down the coast, but right here in the Jacksonville area, 7 to 11 feet. And keep in mind, that's simply the water above land. That is the surge of water up to 11 feet. That does not account for the waves that are expected to come crashing in as the winds go counterclockwise around the eye of Matthew. As you saw, 3 million Americans evacuated in this storm, 2.5 million school children home with their families this morning.